Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are stepping away from the spreadsheet logic for a moment to tackle something that, well, it usually feels pretty intangible. We're talking about that ghost in the machine of financial independence. We're talking about luck.
It is probably the single most controversial word in finance.
Yeah.
You've got one camp saying success is 100% hard work, grit.
And the other camp says it's all just random probability, pure timing.
Right. And the truth, of course, is somewhere in the middle. But today we're looking at this through a very specific lens.
We are. We're breaking down the philosophy behind the golden path strategy.
And just to orient everyone, this strategy comes from Tamir Kaham. And I think before we get into any of the mechanics, we have to acknowledge his background because it's pretty unusual.
Unusual is putting it mildly. Tamir is the originator and architect of the 3-stage, 13-step strategy. He's also the creator of the YouTube channel, The Golden Path to Financial Independence. But here's the kicker. He is also the official Hebrew translator of The Richest Man in Babylon by George Samuel Clayson.
Which is, that's basically the holy grail of personal finance parables.
It is a fascinating mix. On one hand, you have this career systems engineer. We're talking decades of high-level technical precision. On the other, he's deeply embedded in this ancient, timeless wisdom.
It's a powerful combination. It's contemporary engineering precision combined with wisdom that has literally stood the test of millennia.
And that duality is actually the key to this entire deep dive. Engineers, they generally hate the concept of luck.
Well, you can't engineer luck. It's a random variable you can't control.
Exactly. But you can engineer a system that is ready to capture opportunity when it flies by.
And that's what we're digging into today. This is a special bonus deep dive, episode 15, and it's really for that salaried individual who is trying to make that psychological leap from being an employee to becoming an asset owner.
So let's start with the uncomfortable part. I want to pose a question to you and to our listener, and I want an honest answer.
Okay.
If a life-changing financial opportunity dropped into your lap this afternoon, I'm talking a distress sale real estate deal, a ground floor partnership, could you actually say yes?
And by could you don't just mean do you want to, right?
Not at all. Do you have the liquidity to fund it? Do you have the knowledge to even vet it? Do you have the risk tolerance to sleep at night after you sign on the dotted line?
Because if the answer to any of those is no,
yeah,
then the opportunity doesn't really matter. It's just noise passing you by.
That is the crux of it. We see people who made millions on Bitcoin or who bought real estate back in 2010, and we just say,
wow, they were so lucky.
So lucky. And sure, the timing was lucky, but luck is totally useless if you're not standing there with a catcher's mitt ready to go.
This is where the source material brings in a bit of ancient wisdom to frame the problem. It's not just Seneca. It actually goes back to King Solomon.
Right, this is that richest man in Babylon influence shining through.
It is. There's a principle from Solomon that serves as the backbone for this whole discussion. It goes, both wisdom and wealth can shield us, but knowledge and wisdom give life to their owner.
That sounds poetic, but let's strip it down. What does that mean in a modern context? How does wisdom give life?
Okay, think of wealth, money, assets, cash in the bank. Think of that as a wall. It's a shield. It protects you, it buys you time, it handles emergencies. But a wall is passive, and more importantly, a wall could be knocked down.
So if you have wealth but no understanding, you're fragile.
Totally fragile. One bad lawsuit, one market crash, one sophisticated scam, and that wall is just gone. We see it with lottery winners all the time.
They get the shield, the wealth, but not the wisdom to maintain it.
Exactly. But wisdom, or for our purposes, financial literacy, is active. Solomon says it gives life. It's regenerative.
So you could strip an asset owner of all their money.
But leave them their knowledge, and they will build it all back. Because wisdom allows you to navigate the storm, not just hide from it. It allows you to pivot.
So if we use the rocket launch analogy from the Golden Path.
Right. If the 13-step strategy is the rocket, and your capital is the fuel,
then financial literacy is the guidance system.
It is the guidance system. You can have a massive tank of fuel tons of money, but without that system, you are just an explosion waiting to happen. You might go up, sideways, or straight into the ocean. Literacy keeps the nose pointed up.
Okay, so let's make this operational. We've established we can't control the opportunity variable. We can't make the market crash or create a new tech boom.
That's the weather. You can't control the weather.
So you can control the ship. You can control the preparedness variable.
Yes. And the source material breaks preparedness down into 3 very specific pillars. And this isn't just have some savings. It's much more structured.
It's about having a defense, an offense, and a brain.
That's a great way to put it.
So let's start with the defense.
Pillar 1, the emergency fund. This is completely non-negotiable. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you are biologically incapable of taking on high-level financial risk.
Your nervous system just won't let you.
It won't, and your bank account shouldn't. You need that shield, that 3 to 6 months of expenses, so you're never forced to make a decision out of desperation.
You don't want to be in a position where you have to sell a good asset at a loss just to fix a leaky roof.
Never. So that's the defense. Pillar 2 is the offense, the opportunity fund.
Okay, now I can hear people arguing this is just a mental accounting trick.
Right.
Why is this different from an emergency fund? Isn't it all just cash?
Mathematically, yes, it's cash. Psychologically, it is a world of difference. An emergency fund is for survival. You hope you never have to touch it. It's fearful money.
I see.
An opportunity fund is for growth. It's capital that is sitting on the sidelines, waiting, specifically, to be deployed. It's your hunting ammunition.
The notes here mention a fascinating psychological effect, something about the reticular activating system.
Yes, this is so important. Your brain filters out millions of bits of information every second. If you don't have money set aside to invest, your brain literally filters out investment opportunities.
You don't see the for sale sign. You don't hear the business pitch.
Why would you? You can't act on it, so it's just noise. It's like when you decide you want to buy, I don't know, a red car, and then suddenly you see that exact red car everywhere.
You were always there, you just weren't looking.
Precisely. Once you create an opportunity fund, even a small one, your brain switches on. You start spotting deals because you know you have the capacity to say yes. You are signaling to yourself that you're a player in the game, not just a spectator.
Okay, so we have defense, the emergency fund, offense, the opportunity fund. That brings us to pillar 3, which is arguably the most important one.
Financial literacy.
Which is step 13 of the Golden Path strategy, continuous focused learning.
Right, and numbering it 13 is a little deceptive. It sort of implies you do it at the end.
Like it's a graduation present to yourself. Okay, I'm done. Now I'll read a book.
But it's not that at all. It is the parallel backbone that runs from day 1 until the day you die. You have to understand the language of money, the difference between an asset and a liability, tax implications, debt, market cycles, all of it.
Because if you have the money from your opportunity fund, but you don't have the literacy, you're
dumb money.
Yeah.
You're the person who buys at the peak of the bubble just because everyone on the news is talking about it.
Literacy lets you look at a deal and spot the trap.
And calculate the real risk versus the reward. Without it, investing is just gambling. You're just throwing darts in the dark.
I want to ground this in a real example because this can get a bit abstract. The source material gives us a perfect case study, and it involves Tamir Kaham himself. And it's centered around one of the scariest financial times in recent memory, the 2008 subprime mortgage crisis.
This is the ultimate luck versus preparedness scenario.
So set the scene for us. It's 2008, 2009. The U.S. housing market is, well, it's on fire.
It was blood in the streets, foreclosures everywhere, prices in absolute free fall. The narrative on every single news channel was, do not touch real estate. It is toxic.
Banks were collapsing. The entire herd was running for the exits.
Right. Most people were completely paralyzed by fear. Even people who had money were terrified to spend it.
But Tamir, watching this from Israel, he saw something else?
He did. Because of his literacy, his guidance system, he didn't just see a fire, he saw a clearance sale. He recognized a massive dislocation between the price of these assets and their actual long-term value.
He saw things selling for pennies on the dollar?
Exactly.
Okay, but here's the objection. I can hear someone screaming right now. Sure, easy for him. He probably had millions of dollars ready to swoop in and buy up cheap houses.
And that is the assumption everyone makes. But it's false. He did not have millions in the bank. He was a salaried engineer. He had constraints, just like everyone else.
So how did he do it? This is where that systems engineering mindset kicks in, right?
It is. An engineer looks at a problem. I want to buy these assets, but I lack sufficient capital. And they design a system to solve it. His solution was partnership.
He partnered with his brothers?
He did, but, and this is so crucial, he didn't just partner with them because they were family. We all know how family and money can be a disaster.
Oh, yeah. The Thanksgiving dinner argument just waiting to happen.
Exactly. He partnered with them because they fit the system requirements. They shared a long-term vision, they had discipline, and maybe most importantly, they provided emotional stability.
Emotional stability. Why is that a system requirement?
Think about it. When you are buying real estate in a foreign country during a global economic collapse, it is terrifying. Every headline is screaming that you are making a massive mistake.
Right.
If you're alone, that pressure can make you panic and sell at the worst possible time. But a partnership acts like a gyroscope. If one partner gets scared, the others can stabilize the ship. It mitigates the risk of emotional decision-making.
That is a really undervalued form of preparedness. We always think of it as money, but sometimes preparedness is just having the right allies.
100%. So let's look at the checklist. Did he have the defense? Yes, he had an emergency fund, so his personal life in Israel was secure. He wasn't betting the grocery money.
Okay.
Did he have the offense? Yes. By pooling their resources together, they created a viable opportunity fund.
And the literacy.
He had studied the market. He understood the numbers. He wasn't guessing. He flew to the U.S. He was literally hunting for the opportunity because his analysis told him it was there. He walked the neighborhoods. He talked to agents. He crunched the spreadsheets.
So when people say, oh, Tamir was so lucky to get into U.S. real estate at the bottom, they're ignoring years of saving.
The relationship building with his partners, the hours of study that happened before 2008 ever hit. The luck was the market crash. The success was the preparedness.
It's so much more empowering when you frame it that way. If you just believe in pure luck, you're a victim of circumstance. You're just waiting for a lottery ticket to fall from the sky.
Exactly. But if you believe in preparedness, well, then you have work you can do today. You can't force the train to arrive at the station, but you can make damn sure your bags are packed and you're standing on the platform when it does.
So what does packing your bags look like for our listener right now? Maybe they feel like they missed the last boat. Maybe they're just starting.
Stop looking for the hot tip. Stop trying to find the magic stock that's going to double overnight.
Yeah.
That is chasing luck. Instead, just build the pillars.
Focus on the defense.
Build that emergency fund. It gives you the psychological safety you need to think clearly. It stops you from making fear-based decisions.
And then build the offense.
Start putting money aside into that opportunity fund. I don't care if it's $50 a month. It starts to change your identity from consumer to capital allocator in training.
And step 13.
Continuous learning. Read the books. Listen to people who know what they're doing. Understand how the machine actually works. Because the next opportunity is coming. The market is cyclical. There will be another crash, another boom, another new technology.
The train always comes around again.
It always does. The only question is, will you be ready to get on it?
I think that's the perfect place to bring in our mandatory disclaimer. Because as much as we're talking about seizing opportunities, we have to be responsible about the risks involved.
Absolutely. We need to state clearly, this content is for educational purposes only. There are absolutely no guarantees of results.
The fact that the strategy worked for Tamir Kaham in 2008 does not mean it will work for you tomorrow.
Correct. History might rhyme, but it doesn't repeat exactly. Your circumstances, your risk tolerance, your local market conditions are completely unique to you.
So you must consult qualified professionals. We're talking accountants, financial advisors, lawyers, before making any significant decisions.
We're providing the mental framework, but the execution is 100% your responsibility.
So bringing this all home, the whole point of this deep dive is when luck meets preparedness.
And the verdict is, stop worrying about the luck. You can't control it. Obsess over the preparedness.
I love that visual of the train station. I want our listener to hold on to that. You're standing on the platform. You have your ticket, which is your savings. You have your map, which is your financial literacy.
And maybe you have your travel companions, your partners.
And you just wait. And when that train finally arrives, when the market shifts, when the deal appears, you don't have to scramble or panic.
You just step on board.
You look at it and you say, I've been waiting for you.
That is the asset owner mindset.
This has been a great detour into the philosophy of the system, but we know our listeners also crave the step-by-step mechanics.
Yes, and if you want the specific how to build the budget, how to calculate your safety margin, how to select assets, you really need to follow the full 13-step series.
And for the visual learners, because Tamir uses a lot of flowcharts and diagrams that are, frankly, hard to explain on audio.
You really should check out the YouTube channel.
That's The Golden Path to Financial Independence.
And to make sure you find the right one, the handle is, let me spell this out carefully. It is / @ capital TAMIR, capital GOLD, capital PATH.
That's at Tamir Goldpath.
Preparedness is the foundation of opportunity. Keep building.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you in the next one.